Hi there and welcome to Yarnspirations. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life, and in this video we're going to take a closer look at the Astrakhan Loop Crochet Pillow. This is a really interesting loop stitch made of chains instead of just strands of yarn, so it's durable and densely textured. You're going to need some Bernat Blanket and a size US L 11 or 8mm crochet hook, and click on the link in the description below to download the free pattern. And while you're down there, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly. Let's get started on the beginning. Now, one of the cool things about making this pillow in the round is that there's hardly any finishing to do at the very end. But a lot of people are sort of put off by working around both sides of the foundation chain, which is how we get started. So I wanted to go over that real quickly. Now you're going to chain 34. I've only chained 11 because I want to get through it on camera. But the instructions say single crochet in second chain from hook, single crochet in each chain to last chain, 3 single crochet in last chain, working into opposite side of chain, single crochet in each of next, in your case 32 chain, 2 single crochet in last chain, join with slip stitch. What all this means is that you're going to work along one side of the chain, put some increases here at the end, and then work along the other side of the chain. Now, if you've watched any of my videos here on Yarnspirations, you know that I always encourage you to do your foundation in the back or bump of the chain as opposed to the front or V. And this is why. This is one of those instances in which doing your first half in the back or the bump makes the second half so easy. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to single crochet in the second chain from hook, and in each chain across till we get to the last one. And again, yours will be much bigger than mine. So here I am on my last chain. I'm going to work 3 single crochets in that last chain, and it's going to take me around the edge. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm ready to go back the other way, and look at that. Because I worked in the back or the bump, there's my 2 legs of my stitches. They're just sitting here waiting for me, so I know exactly where to put the hook. So I'm going to single crochet all the way across. Now again, if you are one of those people that is resistant to working in the back or the bump and you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But I'm here to tell you it is the simplest way to work on 2 sides of the foundation chain. When I get to the very last stitch, I'm only going to put 2 single crochets in there because it has 1 in there already, right? The very first one that we made. Let's see, I have 2 left. So this guy. So now I'm going to put 2 here. 1, 2. I'm going to join with slip stitch to the first single crochet that I made, which is this guy. And it says place marker on last stitch and move this marker up each round. It's really hard to know where the end is, particularly on blanket, which does not have a ton of stitch definition. So there's my slip stitch. I'm going to use a locking stitch marker and mark the last stitch of the round. So every time I come around, I'm going to go around and around and around and around this piece. Every time I come around, when I put a stitch in here, I'm going to move that stitch marker up 1 round, just so I know that where the round begins and ends. So now let's take a look at the loop stitch. So we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip stitch in front loop only of next single crochet. Now in this case, it's actually going to be that first single crochet that we did the round join in. So here's my front loop, there's my back loop. So I'm ignoring the back loop for now, and I'm working in the front loop only, and I'm going to slip stitch. Repeat from asterisk around. So that's all there is to this. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to the next stitch. There's the back loop. I'm going to leave that empty. There's the front loop. That's where my slip stitch goes. I'm going to do that all the way around to the end. And when I join the round with a slip stitch in the first stitch, I'm going to join the round in the front loop only because I'm going to need that back loop later. Oops, pull up some more yarn. Front loop only, slip stitch. So there's my big, thick loops. I'm going to do this all the way around, and then I'm going to take just a very quick look at the next round. So I'm coming up on the end of my round. I know that this is my last stitch in the last round because that's where my stitch marker was. And I'm going to go ahead and mark this stitch again because it's still the last stitch, but I'm going to mark just the back loop because I know that that is where I'm working in the next round. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch in the front loop of the next single crochet, which is this first guy here, right where I started. Moving on to the third round, it says holding chain 6 loops forward to reveal remaining back loop of each single crochet in previous round, chain 1. Single crochet in remaining back loop of first single crochet, and then single crochet in remaining back loop of next single crochet all the way around. So where I'm looking is I have my slip stitch in the front loop. The back loop is empty. So I'm just going to single crochet in there. I'm going to the next loop. I slip stitched in the front loop, so that back loop is empty. There it is. Once you get past the very beginning of the round, it's a lot easier to see. And sometimes I literally, you see how I'm doing? I'm tugging on the loop. I don't want to pull it way out of shape, but if I tug it down, I can see that bar behind it much more easily. And I'm going to single crochet all the way around and join it with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. That's really all there is to this pattern. There's a loop row and then a single crochet row. When I go on to the loop row, I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. I'm going to put those loops, I'm going to anchor those loops in the front of the 2 loops at the top of the stitch, and then the following round is going to have single crochets in there. So once you have gotten the piece as long as you want it to be, in our case 20 inches or 51 centimeters, you're going to end with a second row and fasten off. At that point, you can do one of 2 things. You can pop your pillow in there and just whip stitch the opening closed. If you want to install a zipper, give yourself a little bit of a seam on each side, 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters here, and the same on the other side, and then you can purchase an 18-inch zipper and sew the zipper into place, and then you can insert or pull out the pillow form every time you need to. So what do you think of this loop stitch? This with the chains is a little different than we have done in the past, and I like it because I think it's more durable than just having a piece of yarn hanging out there. So tell me what you think of this loop stitch. I'm interested to know. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life. Thanks for joining us here for the Astrakhan Loop Crochet Pillow, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly on knitting, crocheting, and other yarny stuff. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.